Just hit the live button. So we should be going live in a moment. Yep, we should be live right now.
Mm.
And let me grab the link here. I'm going to grab the regular link because I was grabbing the YouTube gaming one. And not everyone may want that link. Alright, and let me send this out to my alliance and to a couple of other groups, and then we'll get started here. Okay. First one in, Sadiq. How are you doing? I'm just getting set up and sending messages to different line groups so that people know that I'm live because YouTube fails miserably at that. Okay. Hopefully this won't take me too long to get this set up. And I'll also check my Twitter, make sure that Twitter actually says that I'm live as well. Let's see. I think that's it. Actually, I don't normally post to this one group that I'm live, but I'll do it this once. If they don't like it, they'll let me know, and I won't do it again. Patty's Pub, what's up, Lord? Congrats on LOL. Thank you. Aeon Kong, welcome. Yoo-hoo. I see that you joined my Discord server as well. Welcome to the family. We're going to get started here in a minute. Just sending it out to a few places, and I have to do it manually. I might find a process that'll let me do it a little faster, but we'll see. But for now, I have to check behind um, YouTube to see if they actually sent out a message to, like, say, Twitter. And right now, I'm not seeing it, but I should have. Yeah, I see my crystal opening, but I do not see anything else. Alright, so let me manually put this out. Tweet that out. And one more place, Facebook, because I have it linked up. It's supposed to, I think, post to Twitter, and then from Twitter, it's supposed to post to Facebook. But it sometimes does that, sometimes doesn't. Really depends on YouTube and what they're doing. And no, I don't see anything on Facebook, so let's. Alright, share that. Okay, that should do it. All right. Dean D says, "Congrats on LOL." Thank you. Are people just now seeing my videos that I completed LOL completely? Patty's Pub says 14 mil. Is that what I'm going for? Or are you thinking that might be the cutoff? Because that's probably going to be the cutoff. That's not what I'm going for. I never go for cutoffs. Everybody, you guys can see my score right there. That's roughly how much I did on the first day. And then I fell asleep. And I did go through them this morning, but I probably lost an hour or so. I think they were available maybe an hour ago, but I did not do it once they were available because I was asleep. Aeon Kong says, "I told you to stream the LOL runs." Well, yes, you did, but I wasn't streaming at the time. I hadn't even done one stream, and I didn't want to have my first streams be me doing those LOL runs because, quite frankly, the fights were long and I wasn't having a lot of fun. There were a few fights in there that were okay, but I'm not a fan of those long fights. And although there is skill involved, it was more of an endurance race. So I would fight until they killed me. Either the Labyrinth Evade, which I could do nothing about, and all I did was revive over and over again, get a little bit, see how much I could do before I died. That to me is not really that fun. Dean D says, "Didn't see any YouTube notifications. YouTube has done Dork Lessons dirty as well with their automated notifications." Yes, they have. I remember him telling me about that. That's why I know that they aren't doing what they should do. Pass says, "Does this venomized duck need to be awakened?" Honestly, I do not know that much about this duck. Um, from what I have heard, no, he doesn't. He seems to be a utility champion. I saw Legacy, I believe, take him into Labyrinth of Legends and one shot the Red Hulk there, but that was a 6-star Venom the Duck, but I don't know. Phantom, what's up? What's going on? Dean D says, "Yep, just catching up on videos." Okay. And Patty's Pub says, "I don't usually hop on live streams. That's why I mentioned." Ah, okay. All right. So we are going to go ahead and get started here because the longer I take, the longer it's going to be before they come off cooldown. And that's going to suck because I will then have to stay up a little bit later if I want to run through them before I go to sleep.
Way past the old man's bedtime.
Got that right. Right now, these guys should start coming off cooldown around 10 o'clock my time. And it will take me about an hour to go through all of my 5-stars. I know I keep telling my sister that it shouldn't take me that long because I keep remembering when I could go through all of my 5-stars in about 40 minutes when I have suicides turned on. But I hadn't checked for a very long time, and that was a long time ago. And with my current roster, I can't go through them in 40 minutes. And especially if I'm going to do my 5-star, my 4-stars, my 550s as well, there's just no way. It's going to take me about an hour and a half to go through all of my 5-stars as well as my top 4-stars and my 440s. And I just thought of something that I forgot to do, but I'm going to do that after this round. My 6-stars most likely are off cooldown. I think they came off cooldown around the same time as the 5 stars did this last time, about 1 o'clock maybe, Eastern. So I'm gonna run over there real quick after this and make sure I get them on cooldown so that I can run them again sometime tomorrow.
No, I don't play Patty's Pub.
Not yet. All right. Nice even 7 million. So let me back out of this real quick. So before I go into that arena, I should have checked the 5 star featured arena. And sure enough, 6 stars are off of cooldown. And these
Dean
guys,
D says, how does Unawakened 5-star Glad Hulk rate as a good tool to use in the game? He just got him and is trying to find out what to do. Figure out what to do.
well, Gladiator Hulk, he is really good against most mystics, especially if a mystic champion has a passive degen like Dormammu or Magic's Limbo. He gets what's called Face Me, and that is beastly. So if you're facing a Dormammu or a Magic, you want to use Gladiator Hulk. I have a couple of videos about him on my channel if you want to take a look there. Just do a search. The other place where I'm going to be using him is when we do map 6, the Starburst path. That is a passive degen. Gladiator Hulk is king for that path. Now my Gladiator Hulk is only a rank 3, and he cleaned up on that path. So those are the areas where I would use him. Any area where you have passive degen that you have to deal with, you want to use him.
Owen Sleeth says, how many points are you going for?
16 or 17. Come on, Daredevil. Aye.
144 says, hi, Lord Logan Shadow.
Hey, how you doing? Can't look right now. This Daredevil is acting foolish. Okay.
Patty's Pub says, mine is R4. He does work.
Oh yeah, definitely. Okay, look at this, guys. See that? That is the kind of thing that can get you wrecked. That should have killed him. Instead, it reduced him down to 1% health, which would have allowed him to fire off his special 3. And if I had been really low and he fired off his special 3, that would have been it. Fortunately, I got the AI that didn't want to throw their specials at all. But I really hope Kabam fixes that.
Dean D says, thanks. I will look for Gladiator Hulk videos. Passive degen. I will look into that too.
Yeah, that's what makes Gladiator Hulk, and he does not have to be awakened. He is just fine unawakened. His awakened ability, when they get low, I forget what the percentage is, he gets 2 random things. He either regens his health or gets more attack. That's it. And it's whether he gets that low or whether his opponent gets that low. Alright, so let's... I don't want to use up my 550 in this arena, so let's get... well, we'll use Wolverine, I guess, and Omega Red.
Sadiq says, That 1% bug, and what's really disappointing is that Kablam won't even acknowledge it.
Yeah, that does suck. What also sucks is this matchup here. You guys see this? Now look at this. I got Wolverine. He's all about the bleeds. I have a synergy for the bleeds. And who am I facing? Every one of those champions over there are bleed immune. So I've got to fight a Nebula, um, or fight Iceman, and look at their PIs. This is not quite a death match though, but it's rough. So I'm gonna choose Omega Red because when he bleeds, he has that death field. So hopefully I can take out Morningstar. I'm not worried about Thor Jane Foster. She's gonna take out whoever. So let's just do it. Let's see what we can do. Um, so I might pay attention a little bit here.
Dean said you don't hold block to activate the physical resistance for Rocket.
Hold on, I'll answer in a minute. This is gonna be a interesting fight.
Do two at once so you can die. I mean,
Okay, stop it, stop. Okay. One thing that might save me with this is that I'm running suicide, so I'm doing a lot more damage. But like I said, I'm not worried about Thor Jane Foster. Ah, man. Come on, Wolverine. Okay. He's not wanting to throw that. He's going to throw it when I don't want him to. Ah, damn it. I knew it. That's exactly what I was afraid was going to happen. Alright, so you guys saw that. Soon as I dashed back, that's when he fired his special. So it's all up to Omega Red here. But I'm not that far in the streak. Come on, throw your special. Come on.
get him!
Come on, throw your special. Oh, whoa. She's got a lot of health. Come on. This can be bad. Okay. Whew. She threw a special, so we have a chance. Come on. Come on. Ah, come on. Okay. Should have this. So I hate when she's just standing there like that because I know she's about to do something crazy. Okay, we should have it. Yep. There we go. Okay. Yeah, that was horrible.
It was funny. I mean, you're right. It was horrible
Yeah, huh?
that you died. That was
See
bad.
how my sister enjoys my pain. But we didn't lose the streak there. I forgot that I'm building up to the streak still. So we're actually not on the streak in this arena. So choosing those low champions, that is exactly what can happen. All right, back to the other arena. Man, that is a pain. And I should have won that fight with Iceman as well. But when they get into that mode, that AI, they basically get really reactive. And as soon as you attack or do an evade, that's when they do it with precise timing. It happens, I can't tell you how many times it happens. So they'll be standing there and you'll be blocking and they won't attack. And then as soon as you lift your finger up to do any kind of attack, that's when they attack. I mean, the instant you let up that block, they attack faster than anybody could. Very annoying. And I was trying to get him, you saw me, I was trying to bait out his special. He wouldn't throw it, but as soon as I evaded back to get some distance, because otherwise he would have just kept hitting into my block and chipping my damage, chipping me down. So I tried to get away from him so he wouldn't do that, and as soon as I dashed back, he attacked. And there is a small delay, so I couldn't even block that. I saw him doing it, but there was nothing I could do because there's a built-in delay when you dash back, like maybe, I don't know, half a second or so, where you can't do anything really. You might be able to evade back if I could evade back fast enough, but usually I can't. I try to double evade, but it's just not fast enough. But at least we didn't have to start. We don't have to start over in that arena. But I'll remember next time.
Hey, Sniper Boss.
All right, PP. Now I could read a little bit. Hello,
Yeah.
Mr. Shadow, long time sub. Love your vids. Can't stay to watch now, unfortunately. All right, well, thanks for stopping by, man. And Phantom says it's to their advantage, 1%, or blocking between chaining a special with a combo, but I can't block after a messed up SP. I know, right? I'm not a big fan of having the AI do things that we can't do, but in all honesty, some games you kind of have to do that, or else it would get really, really boring and easy. But I don't want it to be because of a bug, that's for sure. And Emmanuel says, "What's up, Shadow?" Oh wait, hold on. I cannot read while I'm fighting.
Just watched your triple 5-star opening. Congrats on the 2 awakenings.
Thank you. Ooh, and I am getting beat up. All right, come on. You need to throw that. Okay, there we go. Better not die to this limbo. I'm gonna be very upset. Yeah.
Darnell Jackson wants to know, are you going for a champion?
Yes, I'm going for the 4-star Venom the Duck. And I'm also going to get the 3-star. I saw item use just came on, which is perfect because I'm going to use those arena boosts in the 3-star arena to get him. Shouldn't take me that long with the arena boosts, and I have hundreds, and I'll usually use about 100 of them. Okay, this Dormammu was annoying me.
Welcome to the stream, Orazio Mascali. You're new to the stream.
There, I see you. Orazio, how are you doing? And definitely welcome to the stream. And D&D says Shadow 1, a victory is a victory. Sometimes you gotta win ugly. You got that right. I come from New York City, the Bronx. I don't know anything about dirty fighting. It's just fighting. Use whatever you got at hand. Do what you gotta do. Rules? Shit. Especially since I tended to be smaller than everybody else. You ain't coming after me all big and strong and expect me to fight, quote unquote, fair. No, sir. Do whatever I gotta do to get you down.
Sadiq says, "Are you playing on iPad?"
Yes, I am. You can tell because of the aspect ratio in the screen size. I cannot, I mean, I can make it full screen, but it'll be stretched and it will look horrible. I've done it. It's not pretty.
Robert Estrada says, "Does the new Howard have good synergies?"
I don't really know that much about him. In fact, that's what I'm going to get him for. I will get him in the arena. Then I will take him to rank 3 during the next, level up event or whatever. And I'll start looking into him, make a video on him, and let you guys know what I found out about him. Give you guys a first look and that sort of thing.
Dean D says, "Funny, I'm from Brooklyn and we all think the same thing. Fighting is fighting."
Of course, Brooklyn, we're our brothers. And depending on when you lived there, because it's been a long time since I've been there, tell me how you feel about Queens. Brooklyn, Bronx, Manhattan, we were all brothers and sisters.
Sadiq says he once tried playing an iPad, but it's not comfortable for him.
No, I wouldn't imagine so. And think about this, my hands are small. And I actually got one of the smaller iPads. I forget what the screen size was, but it was not the largest one. And before I got this iPad, I had been playing on an iPhone 5S. So imagine the difference there. As I'm holding this iPad, my thumbs cannot touch. And a lot of times I have to move by hand. So yeah, it's not the most comfortable, but oh, well, that wasn't fun. Oh, well, what's all this unstoppable? Y'all need to stop this.
They can.
Apparently.
It's unstoppable.
That's okay, I waited out. Yeah, I wasn't paying attention. I pushed him to his special 2, which after I, put all those poisons on him was unblockable. Not good.
Sniper Boss says he has the iPad mini.
Yeah, I got this one because it was cheaper than getting another iPhone, and I really didn't need another iPhone. I can't afford it, so it would have been used just like I was using the other iPhone. No service, and I would have just been paying extra for no good reason, really. And when I do get a phone with service, it's not going to be an iPhone. I'm not a great fan of Apple in the first place. If it wasn't for this game, I wouldn't have bought an iPad. I will get an Android phone. I love my Galaxy, the Galaxy series. But I just saw something. Phantom says, I think it's cheating. What are you talking about? What do you think is cheating? Are you you talking about? 'Cause this was a while back. The AI
I think it's
doing
something to that
things.
blasted delay. His
Okay.
previous comment before he said he thinks it's cheating was that blasted delay.
Oh, the AI and the fact that we dodge back and have a delay built in.
Yes, he says the way the AI works.
Yeah. In fact, when I rage sometimes, that's exactly uh, what I start calling out. Because, yeah, I be talking to the AI and to Kabam. I'll be sitting there just be like, why y'all gotta cheat? Why y'all gotta cheat? You already got an advantage. Why y'all gotta cheat? And if I lose because of it, oh man, I'll be sitting there just screaming. I'll be just like, man, Kabam, fix it. You gotta fix this. This is not right.
Dean D says King Penars reminds him of Big Pun.
Yeah, I can see that. Gotta be careful fighting this. Daggone it. And that's exactly why. Anytime I stun him, he got those armor ups up. Can get wrecked real quick. Sniper Boss says, I hate Samsung, just saying. That's fine. There's a lot of people that prefer Apple, but one of the reasons that I like and prefer Android and the whole Galaxy series is that, well, I was going to call myself something, but it has a negative connotation these days. Let's just say I like to fiddle around with things. Okay, so Apple, their policy is to actually shut down one of the things I enjoy doing. So, first thing that I would like to do is root or jailbreak if it's Apple, but it's the same type of thing. And Apple tried to make it illegal to jailbreak. I don't know if you guys remember that. See, I don't like Apple, their business practices and their philosophy. So that is my issue with them. It's not that they don't have, make good devices. They make great devices. It's their business practices. It's the same thing with Microsoft. They have some very bad business practices. Yes, they're effective and you make money, but to me, that's not everything in this world. How you make money, to me, makes a difference.
Dean D says you're a tweaker.
Yeah, that's a good way to say it. Now, when I got my first Galaxy, which was, I think it was the Evo 4G, not the Galaxy, the first Android, the Evo 4G, I did not immediately root it. I left it alone and I was enjoying it. But here's what they did. They installed a bunch of software that I did not ask for, and then they wouldn't let me remove it. And I was like, what is this? I don't even have control over my own device that I paid for, paid hundreds of dollars for, and I can't uninstall this software. I had some things on there that I would never use. There was like a NASCAR application and, just a bunch of stuff. And then, because there wasn't that much space and not enough memory, I started running into out of memory, out of space issues. And I couldn't uninstall and make space. But still, I said, okay, you know what? I'll just work around it. I got all kinds of other things to try to make more space. I had this, I forget what it was called, but it allowed me to move certain applications over to my SD drive, which was slower, but it is what it is. And then They installed some software, set it to auto update, and it had a problem. It actually, every time it tried to update, it would fail. So here it is. Every time I tried to go to the store to do anything, it tried to update, it would fail. I couldn't turn it off and I couldn't uninstall it. I rooted the machine, I rooted that phone the next day. And that was the first time, and I just started rooting it from that point on. I would actually install custom ROMs, all that good stuff. And see, with Apple, they're really kind of against that, while Android supported it. They were like, yes, please, go ahead. Hack it. Do whatever you want to do. Enjoy yourself. So, yeah, that is why I will always prefer the Androids over the Apple devices. It has nothing to do with whether they are good devices or not. Hopefully that answered your question, Sniper Boss. That's the kind of stuff that I enjoy doing. Installing all kinds of stuff, playing around with things, just having total control over my own devices.
Speaking of which, you never answered Dean's question about you don't hold block to activate the physical resistance for rocket.
Are you asking if that's how that works, or are you asking why I don't usually do that? If you're asking why I don't usually do it, it's because I often forget and I just go, especially in the arena, it's just all about damage. So I just focus on doing damage rather than defensive capabilities. But he has several shields, and I very rarely use them. My whole strategy with Rocket is usually bait out specials, get to his L2, wreck him.
Integral says, "Hey, sexy." Hey, Integral.
Hey, what's going on, Integral?
And Sadiq says, "Actually, an arena that doesn't matter."
Exactly. Exactly. The best defense is a good offense. You know who said that? Mel, the cook on Alice. Now there's something. How many people know where I got that from? I know my sister knows. In fact, how many people even remember the show? I actually used to watch it.
Dean says he's old. He remembers that show.
Oh,
Phantom remembers it.
awesome. Kiss my grits. I know all the younger folks are like, what in the world are they talking about? And you know what's...
Phantom Black has a question. He has a 5-star Start Sig level 60 and a 5-star Void Sig level 197. Both R4. Who would you R5 first?
Oh, that is a tough one. Both of them are rank 5 worthy, and I would rank 5 both of them. I've already rank 5'd my Starkey. I don't have Void, but if I get Void, he's going to rank 5. So that's a tough one. As far as priority, that's going to depend on what you need right now. Have you completed Labyrinth of Legends already? Integral says, better hearing your voices. That's what we're here for. Healing. Soothing. Yes, Sniper Boss, I know you're young and you wouldn't remember. That show was off the air before you were born. In
Yeah,
fact,
it did
I was...
reruns. That's how I saw it, with reruns.
Yeah. I think I was about your age, Sniper, when I was watching it. So that should tell you something. That's been, ooh wee, 30, almost 40 years ago. But yeah, depending on what you need, if you are planning to do Labyrinth of Legends, then I would say rank up that Spider-Man Stark Enhanced. If you are not planning to do Labyrinth of Legends, or if you have already completed Labyrinth of Legends 100%, then Void. Also, what is your focus? Is your focus Alliance War? If your focus is Alliance War and you're taking a path, I believe it's path 6, because if you rank up your Void, chances are they're going to put you on that path on a permanent basis. So if you're good with that, then that's who you want to rank up. So it really just depends on your situation and what you're trying to do in the game right now. 5-star Carnage with an AG, I don't know. I don't actually know enough about Carnage to be able to answer that one. Is it a generic or a class awakening gem that you're talking about? All right, Sniper Boss, take care. Thanks for stopping by. Okay. I usually have to pay a little bit more attention when I'm fighting Killmonger. He's very tanky and tricky. Phantom says, remember the original Batman and Robin? Yes. I mean, no. Why would I remember that? That was a very, very long time ago. Maybe, on the reruns and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Bam, pow, boom.
Who you
Same,
kidding? You was there when they first debuted.
same bat time, same bat channel. Yeah, I heard about it. You know.
Patty's Pub says I have a cosmic gem that is collecting dust. No Corvus, Hyperion, or Dusa in sight.
Oh, save it. I know it sucks, but kind of like this Modoc evading me.
He knows he wouldn't be able to evade. His head too big.
Yeah, he's in that chair. Yeah, Phantom. That is how long ago that was, and I was young. So by the time I was watching it, some of them were still they were on reruns. But I used to watch them all the same. All right, let's see. Just trying to make sure I don't end up in a situation where I only have deathmatch potential. Want to make sure I use up all of my rank ones.
Dean D said all the different Catwomen on that show. So hot.
I know, right? Let me see. Who was it? Eartha Kitt. Was she the original?
she was the first black one.
Okay, that's probably why I remember.
Meredith. I can't remember her last name, but Eartha Kitt was one of them.
Okay, so I think that's the one I remember the most. And yeah, Dean, those outfits they used to wear, man. Phantom, you don't know the name Eartha Kitt? If I remember correctly, she was one of the Catwomen.
Yes, she was.
And sexy as anything, boy.
She was.
Oh yeah. Talk about my young self. I used to love watching her move. Now here's a
She
question
was
for
the
you.
longest one.
I'm sorry, what?
She took it. She had the longest Catwoman on there.
She's the only name that I really remember. I know I've seen the other ones, but she's the only name I remember. So how many of you guys watched this little unknown series called Star Trek? I know a lot of you may not have heard of it. It was a long time ago, but now get this. My mom, for the longest time, used to taunt me about Star Trek episodes watched because, of course, I was watching all the reruns. And for the longest time, the first couple of episodes, I think one with Pike, Commander Pike, not Kirk, they did not play those on any reruns. And so she always could boast that she has seen all of the Star Trek episodes, where I had seen all but like maybe one or two of them. Eventually, they did play them in like a marathon or something like that, and I was able to just binge watch all of them, and I watched every single one. May not remember all of them, but I know I've watched them at one point in time. That was a very long time ago. I think I was in high school when I watched that marathon. So that would have been in the 80s. Haha, D&D. Yep, Eartha Kitt was one of the best cat women. Same, seeing her purr and move was so nice. Yes, indeed. Heck, even watching some of the, I don't see any reruns these days, but we have YouTube. So, even watching her move to this day, still so
Hanson Black
nice.
said he used to like Linda Carter.
Oh, don't get me started on Linda Carter. Them tiggle bitties.
Oh, for crying out loud!
I was fascinated watching her spin around. In fact, I think I'm trying to remember because I was really young. I remember pretending I was Wonder Woman. I
Ugh.
pretended I was everybody: Wonder Woman, Batman, Spider-Man.
Original Shazam, Planet of the Apes, Lindsay Wagner and the Bionic Woman was one of,
Ooh,
of D&D's favorites.
the Bionic Woman and the Bionic Man. And I watched when they came out with the next generation of them.
Ugh.
It was interesting as well. Planet of the Apes, yes, I watched that. Planet of the Apes, though, I don't know. I kind of got
Roddy McDowell.
burned out on the Planet of the Apes because they actually had a series and even a cartoon series. And I just was like, well, after a while, I was just done. Done, 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 done. The dog Max. I actually do remember the dog. I do remember it. But you know what I remember the most out of the Bionic Woman? The fembots. I did not like the fembots, and to this day, I have an issue where women appear to be women, but they're not actually women. And I can trace it back to that episode of the fembots, where there were all these beautiful women, and then suddenly you rip off their faces, and they were actually these robots. No, sir. Did not like it. Did not like it one bit. You look like a woman, you should be a woman.
Issues.
D&D says the $6 million man. I saw the next gen Bionic Woman movie on TV. I think I saw that. I'm not sure. And Patty's Pub says the Last Jedi is trash. changed my mind. Um, I have not watched any of the latest Jedi movies.
I
Although
see
I've,
no point in changing Patty's mind, actually.
yeah, I've not heard too many good things about it. Someone told me to watch The Force Awakens. I think they said that one was pretty good, but I haven't watched any of them. In fact, the last one I watched was Episode 2. I didn't even watch Episode 3. I actually skipped to the end just so that I could see um, Darth Vader, Anakin fighting his master, because I hadn't realized that he never actually beat him.
And get his butt whooped.
Exactly. I didn't know he never beat him. That was very interesting to me. But I fast forwarded to that end. I didn't even watch that one. And I was definitely a Star Wars fan from back in the day. And I remember when they actually were talking about making the first 3 episodes, and that was back in the 80s. That rumor had been around. And I had high hopes. I was looking forward to, seeing tons of Jedi fighting and, Wookiees at war and all of that. But it kind of let me down. D&D says Last Jedi was fine for me, to me. Yeah, some people liked it. I honestly, I don't know. Let's see here. You guys can see I like those synergies. See, I love that how they're all lit up like that, and I couldn't tell you what those synergies were.
Jocko, he's older than dirt.
I am old, Jocko. Back when the Earth was young, I witnessed the birth of the universe. Or maybe that was just a really bad dream after eating late. But anyway, I am 47. I will soon be 48 come January. Yep, see? Youngster. I remember being 32.
Dean D says he loves it too when they all have synergies, more and more points.
Exactly. I mean, there is a reason other than just me being a little OCD about it and liking it. It does give you just slightly more points.
And he wants to. And Dean says, "Will you watch Halloween 2018?"
Probably not. I don't really watch a lot of TV. And when I do, it's usually things that are lighthearted. I am not a fan of being scared.
It's a slasher film. That's not gonna scare anybody.
I also don't like dramas.
It's Halloween.
Yeah,
You
I don't
know
watch
it's
none
Mike
of those
Myers.
things. Don't like any of that stuff. But now, the funny thing is, I watched all the Nightmare on Elm Streets, and I have watched Freddy versus Jason. To me, those were just kind of funny, but I don't know. I've just gotten out of got the taste out of my mouth of those types of movies and shows and things like that.
Dean D says Freddy versus Jason was a comedy.
Exactly. Like I said, I am more into action comedies. I don't really like dramas. The action comedy can have a little drama in it. That's fine. But if it starts becoming more of a drama than a comedy, I'm not going to watch it.
Let's put it this way, Patty. His TV is usually tuned to Cartoon Network.
Yup, yup. And me and my sister watch anime. And the type of anime that we watch is usually the comedies, something that'll make us laugh. Now, there's another reason. You know, my personality, by nature, I have a melancholy personality. So, watching things like that can be not too healthy for me. You know, I also suffer from anxiety, you know, panic attacks, that sort of thing, and there's no telling what can trigger it. So I tend already towards, I don't know, the melancholy, you know, doom and gloom, that type of thing, and it actually runs in my family. So I definitely don't need to watch shows that are, you know, going to reinforce that. I actually need things that are more lighthearted, funny, that are going to make me laugh. All right, this is lagging a little bit, as you guys can see. It's starting to
Yes.
take longer to load, so it's going to crash if I do not restart it myself. So I'm going to restart it as soon as I can. Try and get through this round here.
Dean D says I'm similar. There's enough sadness in the world, so sometimes you just need to laugh.
Exactly. I don't even watch the news most of the time, although my sister and my mom watch it enough for me, and so they'll always let me know who died and all that. But I'll
You
usually,
need to be informed
I don't need to be informed all the time.
just
Um,
sometimes.
but on, you know, just on online app, people usually let me know. Oh yeah, I don't know if I have another fight in me. You guys will see it freeze because it just froze on me.
Yep.
Yeah, right there. Just look at that. That's the kind of thing that happens just before it crashes. I may be able to actually kill it after this, but we'll see. If it doesn't crash right here, I'll kill it. All right. All right. Let me kill it and restart it here. And hey, you guys can see the games here that I play. So just before we go back, there's the puzzle quest that I was telling you about. Line Rangers, Words with Friends. I usually play that just with my family. Um, Puzzle and Dragons. I don't really play that anymore. Um, Hungry Shark. A couple of variations. Spider-Man. I saw that first on Dave's stream. It's a runner type game. Don't really play it too much. Idle TD is a tower defense type game. I just play that every once in a while. Um, SOL, that I got because you can play that without being on the internet. So if I find myself without a connection, I can still do something to while away the time.
Dean D says you have time for other games.
Not really. All right. Now, do you guys saw that? I tried to start it and it immediately crashed. Don't ask me why, but I think it has something to do with the fact that I'm mirroring it right now. And I remember I had that problem before, but it might be the software. Maybe it's interfering with something. But using my other software and the other OBS, I could not start the game while those things were running. I would have to actually shut them down, then run the game, then start the mirroring and OBS. And I have no idea why. All right, let's get back to the grind. And we're getting down to The end of the 5 stars, at least. And we are at the 1 hour mark. So, making good time. And after these, I'll do the 550s. And sometimes I won't do it on stream, but I can use up my 440s. Like if I was behind where I wanted to be on my first day, I would actually use up all my 440s and even use up maybe some 330s. Mix them in with the 440s. Oh, you see this guy? His name is One Punch Man. So I'm
I
fighting. And see, that was another one that me and my sister watched.
had to bully you into watching it.
Yeah, but it turned out to be. See, it looked a little bit more dramatic to me at first, but I warmed up to it, and it was actually quite funny.
TDD 951 says, "How much are you going for? Are you using units?"
Nope, I never use units, and I am going to go for between 16 and 17 million. So, in other words, once I have hit 17 million, I'll start into another arena and start padding and getting some milestones in there while visiting this arena and just sort of padding it. And experience has told me that I can get up to 70 million doing that. So chances are I'll get about 17. And then I'll stop completely and focus on another arena entirely and just get as many milestones as I can.
You're not trying to pick him up as featured, says TDD.
Only the 4 star. The 4 star featured is what I'm going for. I don't go for 5 star featured champions because then I would have to use a lot of units. A lot of units. And I'm
Dean says, "I do that too from time to time. To break the monotony of arena, I look at the name of the opponent. Some people are funny."
yeah, I usually don't even notice the name, but I just happened to notice that name.
And Tritonk says, "Hey, Lord Shadow, I have a question. Is Shadow a typo or is it your last name or something?"
It is not a typo, and well, it's not my real name, but it is on purpose. I guess I could tell you guys the story. Now, I want you guys to watch what happens here to Magic when I dash back. See that? I could not do anything about that. I knew he was about to fire off his special, but I couldn't block. I might have tried to evade, but it wasn't going to happen. But anyway, how I got that name, me and my best friend, we always played online games, and we're talking from way back when there were no MMOs. Everything was text-based. Before Ultima Online was a thing, before EverQuest. And we would like to role play as brothers. Okay, so I came up with a name, Storm Blade, and he had Storm Shadow. And I came up with our role play based on our personalities in the game and how we like to play. Because we are very similar, but we have a few differences that allowed me to make up different names. So he was Storm Shadow because he preferred staying in the shadows. I did as well, but I would come out more than he did. So compared to him, I was positively sunshiny. Okay? So he was Storm Shadow, the weapon that you didn't see. And I was Storm Blade, the weapon that you did see. So in most of the games, especially if we had to go up against PvP, if you saw me and you didn't see him, he was there. He was somewhere because we never fought alone. and we are that way in real life as well. But anyway, um, that was our younger years. So we played and we role played that way for the longest time. Okay. Now I came up with the name Stormblade because I was actually reading a book called Stormblade at the time, and I thought it fit with the role play perfectly. I chose Stormblade after he chose Storm Shadow, which I believe he also got from a book that we were reading, because we have similar taste in books as well at the time. And what started happening, we would play these online games, and we had no problem getting our names. Nobody chose Stormblade or Storm Shadow, so we had no problem. But after a while, people started seeing us. We started becoming um, popular in these games. People saw the names, they liked it, and if we were not quick on some new game, we would go to the game and find that someone had taken our names. And that was, of course, very annoying. So I tended to stay with games longer than my friend Storm Shadow would. He would be in all these different betas and everything. So he would always know about a game before it came out. And since he knew me and he knew my tastes, he would, once he got bored with a game, he would say, have you tried this game out? You might want to try it out. And usually I would like it, and we would start playing that game together, wash, rinse, and repeat. So as soon as the game would come out, we would try to snatch our names. So whichever one of us got into the game first, we would take the other name so that we could reserve it, and then when they were ready, we would say, okay, we're releasing the name, and then they could get their name. Um, but that started to become not so easy. And people took his name. They had started to take my name before they took his name. But they started to take his name, and so what he started doing was spelling shadow differently, because everybody was taking Storm Shadow or they would take Shadow. It was a very popular thing to do after a while. Early on, it was not. And so he would start spelling it a little bit differently just so that he could get that name. And as I told you, when I would play a game, if it was a game that one of us was not playing yet, we would take the name of the other person so that if they did come over and play the game, they would have their name. So I actually started out with just the name Shadow, spelled that way, reserving his name. And I didn't think he was going to play this, and I talked to him, and he was not really interested in playing this game. And so I was like, okay, well then, I'll just stick with it. I like the name, I like the spelling. It was easier to get because people, wouldn't take it. And I don't remember, but I think I tried taking getting Stormblade, and I think it was taken in MCOC. But of course, Shadow wasn't. And then when I created my YouTube channel, I created it with Shadow. But then I said, you know what? If I'm going to create a channel, I think Lord Shadow, sounds a little bit better. So I changed it on the YouTube, and I actually, when I found out that I could do this, I wrote support and got them to change my in-game name, and I told them, I have a channel, and I would just like to change it to match that channel. And so they did that for me. And so that's why my in-game name is Lord Shadow. That's why YouTube, Lord Shadow, Facebook, Twitter, they're all Lord Shadow. So that is the story of how I got that name. And my friend, I told him about it, and he likes to tease me now. He's like, "You stole my name," which he knows I didn't do. For one, he wasn't Lord Shadow anyway. But like even on Discord, he has his own server that he doesn't really use that much, and I think, what is it called? Let me see. Look here real quick. Yeah, his is called Shadow Keep, and he spells shadow that way. As far as I know, he was the only one before I started doing it with this game who spelled shadow that way. And here's a fun. I don't know how many of you guys use Marvel Insider, but here's something funny that happened, and this was around when Blade was first entering the contest. So you may or may not know, um, Marvel Insider, they'll have these deals where you can use points that you earn just from playing Marvel Contest of Champions and completing event quests. Uh, you can use these points to get these rewards. So one of the rewards that I wanted to get was a 2-star blade. So I went ahead and I redeemed my points, and I got the 2-star blade. But remember, I just told you guys that I changed my name. That's when I changed it. And I thought, wait a minute. If I've changed my name and they send it to Shadow and not Lord Shadow, then if somebody else has that name or nobody has that name, it's going to just go bye-bye. So I wrote them because I hadn't gotten the reward yet. And I said, guys, is there something that I can do? Because I changed my name, I'm letting you guys know now, and here's my new name. And they told me there was nothing that they can do. Whatever name I put in, that's the name that they were going to send it to. So I was like, oh man. So I went in game and actually created another account and got my old name back. Somebody could have easily done that, but I went and I got my old name back, just Shadow, spelled that way. And I was like, well, at least I'll get that 2-star blade. And sure enough, when the 2-star blade was rewarded, it went to that account. But here's the fun part. Months later, support contacted me, Marvel Insider support, and told me, yeah, we got your ticket, blah, blah, blah. Long story short, they sent me a 2-star blade to my Lord Shadow account. So if you actually look up Shadow, spelled just that same way by itself, no Lord Shadow, just Shadow, you'll see that a 2-star blade is my profile pick. I have him as a friend, and I use him when there's like an arena, like a mystic arena battle, or I mean not a mystic arena battle, a skill arena battle, or something like that. Since he's on my friends list, it's easier than searching for a dual target, and I just duel him. Very quick and easy fight. All right. So what were you saying, Miss Stiletto Green?
You got a whole bunch of questions now because you went on, off, and on,
Start
on,
reading them.
on.
Wasting time.
Just saying.
Well, just start saying the questions.
Wakas Sadiq says, what is your honest opinion on Sabretooth? He wants to R5 his 5-star saber and do LOL with him as well as use him in AW.
I do not know enough about Sabretooth to tell you whether that is a good idea or not. I have not heard that Sabretooth is a good Labyrinth of Legends option. I haven't seen anyone using him. So I'd probably not rank 5 him if your purpose is to do Labyrinth of Legends. But with that said, you can do Labyrinth of Legends with less than optimal champ. So even if he's not a good Labyrinth of Legends option, that doesn't mean you still can't do Labyrinth of Legends with him. It just means you might end up using more resources to do it. Frojo34, if you guys are familiar with him, I think he did Labyrinth of Legends with Rogue. And yes, it took him a long time and it was painful, but he did get it done. So you can get it done. It just depends on whether they are optimal and will save you resources.
And Jaco Jobert says, I have R3 Medusa and R3 Hyperion both duped. Which one would you R4 first?
All right, say that one more time.
R3 Medusa
Mm-hmm.
and pop up. But stop doing that. And R3 Hyperion, both duped. Which one would you R4 first?
That's going to be preference. Both of them are very good, and honestly, flip a coin. You cannot go wrong rank foring either one of those. I rank for, I don't have Medusa, but I rank for my Hyperion, and I use him in Alliance War all the time.
And D&D says he can't remember this answer, but is Lord Shadow in the Content Creators Program for MCOC or involved in beta testing?
No, I am not. I applied when they first introduced the program, and I just recently applied again. I sent an application to Adora. My other one is still there. She never replies to me. And, the second application, I said, my channel has grown since the first time I applied, and I'm hoping, to get in here. And I sent her links to my more recent content, but I've never heard anything back from them. So, no, I'm not in the content creator program, but I have applied. So, if any of you guys want to send her something and say, hey, let him get into the content creator program, maybe that'll help. I don't know. All right, TD says, saw a cow whale video and he looks like a steel. Who looks like a steel? Not sure what you mean. Jacko says, have R5 Stark Spidey for LOL. Perfect. That's who I used. I used him for pretty much every single fight except for a few. What are you talking about, Sniper Boss? Sniper Boss says, I remember this. You stealed people's name. I don't know what you're talking about. Okay, so got done with the 5 stars, so now I switch over to my 550s here. And I will past him. There we go. I like this synergy team here. It's actually a decent synergy, but it doesn't really make a difference in the arena. But I do remember one of the synergies, it allows, I think it's Karnak, it allows Medusa to put a permanent armor break on her heavy. So let's see that in action. Let's see. Okay. First I have to land a parry though. Come on.
D&D says Storm Shadow was one of the most popular G.I. Joe figures.
Yeah, I believe that's where he got it from as well. I'm not sure. Alright, you guys will see I put a permanent armor break on him with a heavy. That's what one of those synergies does. But it doesn't really make a difference. But yeah, the Storm Shadow and Snake Eyes in a G.I. Joe. But there's also a character in a book, and I still can't remember which one he got it from. But I do believe it was from G.I. Joe, now that you mention it. But there was also a character in one of the books a series we were reading around the same time, who was named Storm Shadow. Trent Talk says, does your friend know that you play MCOC? If he does, you should try to get him to play. Oh, he definitely knows. And he's been trying to get me to play Warhammer. He's not into the mobile games. Remember, I was not into the mobile games either. Both he and I were strictly PC gamers for many years. The first time we played a game apart, I should say, was World of Warcraft. He actually got me into the beta of World of Warcraft, got me into the game, but then when the game went live, he was just like, he just wasn't feeling it. So that was the first game that we didn't play together online. Um, but he is playing, I think, Warhammer, I think it's called, and he's been trying to get me to play that for years, really. But I'm into playing MCOC. I have another friend that was trying to get me to play a different game, even paid for the trial for me. But I have never been somebody that liked playing too many games at the same time if they are in depth. So, like, you see the games that I was playing, other than MCOC, they don't take up a lot of time. That's why I was able to do that. You know, we're talking less than half an hour to, put in a little time for most of those games that you saw there. And that's if I even log in and play them. So, yeah, he knows, but he's not interested in playing MCOC.
Dean says it was smart to keep the same name across all socials. You're very smart to do that. One common brand name across all.
Oh, yeah. And somebody could take it on some of the other media, but not interested. I don't have an Instagram. You know, I'm not interested in some of the other social medias. And I have enough to try and keep up with. I hate fighting Hyperion. But I know when my PI is so much greater than his, he's very unlikely to throw his specials. But you can see it didn't really do that much damage. Phantom Black says, that's why you are so good at this game. Maybe. I am old school. Okay, Wasp. You need to calm down.
Dean says he hopes Frojo is doing okay. Last he heard, he had a court date and had to pay $900 or go to jail.
Yeah, he's doing okay. I've been keeping up with him, actually, with that situation. He had his court date. He was able to come up with the money and pay it. He has another court date where they just want to verify that he, makes the next payment. And then after that, he's good. And he can, what do you call it? He can petition to get it reduced based on his current income. So he was worried because he didn't have the money, but he would have the money. He was telling us this. He would have the money if they just pushed the court date just a little bit further. And we were telling him that's what your lawyer is for. And, he had a, public defender, a court-appointed lawyer. And when he went to the court, he didn't have the money, but he would have it. And she was able to get the court date postponed just a little bit so that he would have the money. So, yeah, he's doing good now. He's okay. And he'll have the money because he got into this problem because he didn't have a job, and he hadn't had a job for a while. So he didn't have the money to make those child support payments. And his wife, his ex-wife, I don't know the story, so I can't say anything. We only have his story. But she seemed to want to raise his payments. So, and courts are not kind to men in these sorts of situations. And he would tell you, they don't care. You don't have the money, you go into jail. They don't care. And if you think going to jail will absolve you of having to pay, it doesn't. All of your back child support will still be waiting for you. Even if the child is no longer a child. If you went into jail, or say you went to prison, and you were there for 18 years, when you come out, you still owe all that back child support. even though that child is now, you know, possibly in their 20s. Doesn't matter.
And Jacques Joubert says, "Are you planning on doing a face reveal?"
No, I have no plans of doing that. Not anytime soon. I don't even have a webcam. I'm very paranoid. I remember when Joel Line, if you guys remember him, I remember when he did a face reveal. Because I used to watch his streams and I forget somebody else's streams. Uh, 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 I forgot who it was. But they did not have a face cam. And I was like, oh, okay. I didn't think that that was a possibility. And so I haven't been, streaming all this time. But when I saw that, there were people that streamed without a face cam, I said, okay, I'm going to start streaming eventually. And it was years, and I finally did that. But yeah, there's no plans at this point in time for me to do a face reveal.
He will remain the shadow in the dark.
Exactly. All right. Let's see. Da-da-da. Okay. Yep. Sniper Boss says, gotta go. Bye. Take care, Sniper Boss. All right. I think we're all caught up to the chat, and we are winding down. And yeah, this is about how. I mean, I could probably go a little bit faster. You always go a little bit slower when you're live streaming, but not that much slower than when I would do off stream, because I am running Suicide. So it does look like it takes me about an hour and a half to go through my 5 stars and my maxed out 4 stars. Come on,
Jacques
Hype.
Joubert says, "How long have you been playing?"
Years. Um, my I set up my YouTube channel and my first videos December of 2016. Earlier that year, I believe it was sometime in June, I actually started playing seriously. But I had created this account. I'm trying to remember when, but it was shortly after they made this game. So my account is actually pretty old, but I only played for, maybe 2 or 3 months. And then I put the game down until 2016 or so. Or was it 15? I don't really remember. But it's closing in on 3 years, I believe, total. I know Brian Grant. I actually created my account and was playing before Brian Grant did, because I remember when there were no masteries. I remember when there were no alliance quests. I mean alliances. So the game didn't really have much of anything, and I put it down. And when I picked it up, it was like a whole new game. I looked and I saw masteries, and I mean, I was familiar with skill trees, but what impressed me so much about this game was the graphics. At the time, there were not that many mobile games that I knew of that had graphics like this. And so I started playing it mostly for the graphics, and it didn't have a whole lot of depth early on, but I was playing my favorite, champions here, and I was upset because I was trying to get my favorite all-time Marvel champion, which was Hulk. But if you guys remember, he wasn't in the crystals, and he did not arrive in the arena, and I didn't know anything about the arena for a long time. So for a long time, I was hoping to get Hulk in the crystals, not knowing he wasn't in the crystals. And I saw people with him, but they got him as a special deal, but I didn't know that. And eventually, I got a 3-star Hulk when they gave everybody a 3-star Hulk. And he was added to the crystals, and I got him from the crystals as a 4-star around the time I became uncollected. It was a little bit after I became uncollected that I got a 4-star Hulk. But yeah, so I've been playing the game, I would say, regularly for almost 2 years now. Let's see.
Jaco Gilbert says, "Can Kabam tell us when we started? He also played a month and then left it for a few months and then started to play seriously."
Yes, Kabam is the only one that can accurately tell you. The reason that I kind of remember is because I started playing this on the on my Galaxy S3, I think, or whatever. And you had these achievements in the trying to remember. It's been so long. Yep, get that extra synergy there with Modok. Um, but I could look at the achievements, and it was dated, so I could see when I got my first 3-star, and it had those kind of achievements. So I could look at the date, and I could estimate roughly when I started. The first time I made a team, the first time I completed, Act One, a quest, those kind of things. But when I went to look recently, because somebody had asked me that same question, it didn't have dates anymore. I don't know why they did that. It shows me the achievements. It shows me, yes, you achieved this, but I don't have any dates to show when I achieved it. So I could no longer look at my earliest achievement and get a rough estimate of when I created this account. But yes, Kabam can tell you that. You guys, I love this Red Hulk. I love my 5-star Red Hulk.
Sunburn.
What'd you say?
Sunburn.
Oh, yeah, he does look sunburned.
That's why
Cannot.
he's mad.
Huh. Somebody slapped him on the back. Said, "How you doing, pal?" But Jocko, why do you want to know when you started? Just for your own information? Because I think Kabam is a pretty stingy about that. They'll start asking you all kind of security questions and everything before they'll release that information. I think they'll ask you things like, tell us your last 3 purchases, and if you don't have any purchases, tell us, the champion that you got, and they ask all kind of security questions. I'm not quite sure why. It might be that they use that kind of information to help you recover your account, maybe? I don't know. But they are not very forthcoming. Chaco says, "Yeah, I just want to know for myself. Can't remember the date." Yeah. But yeah, they can definitely tell you that. I remember when they started giving us titles, and I forget what the title was for your account age, but at the time I was just shy of getting that title. I have it now, of course, but I was just shy of the I think it was the 2-year title. But my account is actually pretty old, but it's older than I have been playing. So I always have to break that down and tell people, do you want to know how long I've been playing the game? When I actually started playing, how old my account is? Because those first 3 months, yeah, I don't know if I really count them because I wasn't seriously playing the game at that point in time. I didn't start playing it seriously until I think it was December 2015. I mean, June, about June 2015, I think is when I started, um, when I picked it back up and started playing it seriously. Ooh, that was painful. All right, I see your question. Oh, yeah. I looked up and just getting wrecked. Okay, enough of that playing around. All right,
Hmm.
Jocko says, are your sister with you in your house or is she on Skype? Um, yeah, what I did, I think, what was it? Back in 2012, I purchased my first house, which is the house that we're living in, and I moved my sister, my mother, and my stepdad into this house, and it's a nice big house. And my goal was to make sure that they were taken care of so they wouldn't have to worry about apartments and living, and it would be cheaper for us to live together. So we all actually live together in the same house, and it's large enough that we're able to rent out a room. We could actually rent out two, but we have a renter. That is how I'm able, even though I'm not currently making any money, why I'm able to, stay in this house because I was actually the only one working for a long time. So yes, we're in the same house, but she is actually in her room on the Discord server, and we're talking on Discord. Jocko said,
DMZ says, would you R4 an unduped 5-star Cap Infinity War or Hyperion? He has no synergies to make them better. Usage would just be for general questing.
well, your 5 star Cap Infinity War does not actually need to be awakened to be good. Neither does Hyperion. So that's gonna be a matter of preference. I don't have Cap Infinity War, so I ended up taking my Hyperion to a rank 4. But you won't regret taking either of them to rank 4. So it just depends on who you enjoy playing the most. Now, I would probably lean more towards Hyperion because he is a beast. You can use him for general questing. He also has some sustainability, so you can use him in Alliance Quest as well because he can heal a little bit. So, but honestly, you can't go wrong either way. Jocko says, I also don't have that 2 year achievement. I have it now, but when they first started doing that, I didn't have it. I was just shy of this account being 2 years 2 years old. Oh boy. She got a stack of mess on me. Oh, now it's three. There we go. No aftershock for you.
Why you gotta be so mean?
Cause I like it. Alright, so we got 8.5 million in this arena. And I will probably be ending the stream shortly. But I may see what time is it. It's about 5 o'clock. And I didn't mean to fall asleep, so it kind of threw a lot off. I might grab something to eat and try to program a little bit. Had a busy day today, and I haven't been working on that project like I should.
Dean D says interesting perspectives on both champs. Appreciate it.
Hey, no problem.
And the Hellblazer says, "You think I should R4 my 5-star Hyperion or R5 my 4-star Corvus? Both unduped."
Hmm. Rank 4 your 5-star Hyperion, or rank 5 your 4-star. Okay, it's a 4-star Corvus. Um, I would probably rank 4 5-star Hyperion. Neither one of those champions need to actually be duped, but the reason that I say Hyperion is because this game, once 6 stars came out, the game is shifting upward. Now, Corvus is still worth taking up as a 4-star, depending on your roster and what you need. But if you're able to rank for your Hyperion, I think he's going to be more useful to you longer. I still use my Hyperion. I use him everywhere. When I'm doing that epic difficulty in the occult labs, I always bring him. Um, Alliance War, he is one of my Alliance War attackers. If I ever get a different guy that I want to use, or if I see the setup and I bring somebody else in, then I will use him in Alliance Quest. Okay, this Mordo is not going to play nicely, so we're just going to take it to him.
Dean D says, "Is it weird to want to have one champ of every class on your quest team?"
No, not at all.
You're asking the wrong person. He's a hoarder.
No, I'm an achiever.
You're a collector hoarder.
An achiever. What he's talking
And then,
about is more of an achieving.
hmm
And I say that because there was a Bartle test a long time ago that you could take that would tell you your gaming personality. And one of the gaming personalities was an achiever type. There was an explorer. You guys can look it up. It's still there. You can find the wiki and everything. And I was an achiever type. And so that question, I would always do that kind of thing. I would rank up, level up a class, every class, different race combinations, because I'm an achiever. And that's how I actually enjoy myself. I have fun doing that.
and
Um,
D also says a rank 4 5-star has a lot more health than a rank 5 4-star. So in terms of longevity in a fight, the 5-star has more health to last you.
Correct. But yeah, that's pretty much what I was saying as well. That's a very good point. But that 5-star Hyperion is going to last longer. Now, there are some cases where you might want to rank up a 4-star over your 5-star, but that's very, it has to be a very special 4-star. Like Archangel, for example. Taking Archangel to 550 over a 5-star is actually a viable thing, because a 550 Archangel, especially if he's awakened, is better than some of the 5 stars. All right, so 8.6 is where we'll stop for right now. And you guys can see what I did there. I've only been in 2 arenas. All right, I just accidentally closed this out. You guys, switch this thing off. Yeah. Come back to me. Okay. And yep, our alliance war is about to be done. Let me take a look in there. Okay, yeah. Finish my path. Let's go ahead and free them up. So yeah, so you guys, just like what I was telling you, you can see what my normal attack team is here. Stark Spidey, Hyperion, like I said, he is rank 4, and Corvus. Corvus and Stark Spidey are rank 5.
Queen Sarah says hi.
Hi, Queen Sarah. How are you doing? I don't think I've seen your name before. Are you new to the stream? We're about to end it here. Just wrapping things up. And I wanted to
Dean D
see.
says, appreciate you both. Thanks for sharing all the knowledge and the trips down memory lane. He's going to watch some Batman and Robin.
I know, right? But yeah, no problem, man. All right, let's see what else I have left to do. I've already done all my dungeons. I try to get that done right away. Let's see what I got event quest wise. I have those occult labs, but I'm really not going to do those on screen. I just don't like doing those on stream. And let's see. And yeah, see my purchase, my buff randomizer. I always get 8 of them because I know I'm going to need them eventually. Because I do every single epic occult labs, and if I don't like the buffs, I will re-roll. And there's been a couple of times where I've re-rolled over 8 times because they refuse to give me a decent set of boosts. So yeah, I'm not a fan of some of those, but sometimes, like the last time I was in there, it went very easy, and I didn't. I think I re-rolled 1 time, and that was it. So probably in about an hour when this resets, I will go ahead and jump in those labs. Oh, we got another free crystal, so we'll just claim that real quick. Yep, the daily.
Queen
And
Sarah said, yes, I am new. And Doc 4, Strange 3 is just stopping by and dropping a like. Thanks,
all
Doc.
right, thanks for dropping by. We're about to end Doc Strange, so you haven't missed anything except the entire stream. But anyway, and thanks for coming, Queen Sarah. Hope to see you again. I try to stream. I won't be streaming tomorrow. Um, Probably not Sunday either, unless I have something that I want to do. I'm not sure. I usually watch Brian Grant because he'll do like some testing. Um, but we'll see if I have something to do on Sunday. But on Monday, usually around 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, between 1 and 3, depending on whether my 5 stars are off cooldown or not, that's when I try to stream. So, like when the arena ends and a new one starts, if it's like at 1 o'clock, I'll stream. But Sunday, I take a break and I'll try to make videos and things like that. So, uh, when I get this particular champion, uh, I'll try to rank him up. And if there's a level up event going on, I will rank him up, level him up, make a video on Sunday, and probably publish it Monday. But let's see. I haven't done anything in item use yet, but I will, and I usually score pretty high in item use when I use those boosts. Completion. Yep. We haven't been. I hope people kick it into gear later on. And I haven't been doing much in summoner advancement yet. And look at that. The Steward of New York is killing it. And solo event, of course, hero use. I always get all of the hero uses. And tech combat is coming up next, so I might wait and then jump back into the arena once that tech combat starts. All right, D Money Squad, thanks for stopping by, and thank you. And the Hellblazer, thanks for the info. We'll definitely R5 my Hyperion next level up. Yeah, you won't be sorry. But that's going to do it, guys. Hopefully, you enjoyed the stream. And I'll look forward to seeing you guys next time. And you guys have a blessed day.
Bye bye, guys.